All right,
Yeah.
but Charles, can we talk about what? Can we talk about one more topic before we go?
Yes. Let's go ahead.
So Ethan Long, he played for Hattiesburg last year, 6'8". Has had an
Oh
off
yeah, I
Southern
remember.
Miss. Josh is right. So he's transferring to a school in Arkansas. And now Mississippi has lost the Gatorade Player of the Year for the girls last year to a school in Tennessee. They lost one
Yeah.
of the Williams brothers, one to Jackson State, one to
Mm.
Tennessee transferring. Now Ethan Long goes to Arkansas, and this is now the fifth, sixth consecutive year where we had multiple kids leaving the state for high school basketball and going to academies, going to other schools, public schools, private schools. I mean, you name it. It's not anything weird. I mean, there was you think about some of the kids that have moved in the past, whether it's to Virginia. I think Houston had a player on their team that was in the finals last year that was from Mississippi, but then went to high school, around that area. Uh,
Yeah.
so disaster time, disaster.
Yeah, that's not really good at all. Um, it's interesting, man, because basketball's a whole different scene because it's so much like and football's hype driven and everything like that, but basketball's so hype driven because you got so many guys who can ball, but you want to find that stage where people can actually see you play. And in Mississippi, we have seen that in the recruiting circle for Mississippi, it's tough, man. We get about one or two guys going D1 in a class, and other than that, everybody else is JUCO. And so
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
it's kind of what
yeah.
we're looking at. I was looking at the Mississippi Top 100 or their like the recruits or whatever. I saw one player on there. It's just you know what I mean?
Sam Funches, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, the kid
that's
from
right.
Germantown. Yeah, yeah, right.
That's right. And he's gonna go. I mean, 7 feet tall though. I mean, he's gonna go. He's gonna go. He's gonna go D1. Obviously, he's gonna go major D1. But like everybody else, you know, we've got great basketball. We got great basketball players, but Mississippi is just sadly overlooked, and therefore we have players that will leave to go to other places. And big cities is man, basketball is a big city sport.
Yeah, I get that, but in today's age, you don't get missed. You don't get missed. I mean, every you,
Yeah,
you play these AU tournaments. I mean, go play for your high school. Like, go play for play for the love of the game at some point here, because I don't blame a family from doing it, right, or the kid from doing it, right. Like,
yeah,
this is not a shot at them because I'm not saying I wouldn't do it in right. I'm saying I
yeah.
might do it, right, if I had a kid. But at the same time, I think it's really sad for the state because when you football players don't leave. We know that. Baseball players, not only do they not leave, but kids move for baseball to this state, right? Because it's so good. Can basketball, what's it going to take in the coaching scene, for the investment scene, for schools to take it seriously? Again, because it wasn't always like this.
Yeah, it wasn't. But here's a good example, man. Like so, I mean, take take Elijah Martin, who's now in the NBA now. He was on Florida's national championship team last year. He was overlooked, but he's an NBA player now. He was at North Pike. He
Yeah,
was
but he didn't.
JUCO.
But he didn't leave the state. He didn't leave the state.
He didn't. This is what I'm saying. Hey man, so this is what I'm saying though. He went to JUCO, then he went to FAU, and then he went to Florida. He just moved on up. But he did get overlooked by D1 schools. In Mississippi, a lot of times out of high school, these guys are getting overlooked, and later on they're showing how good they are. I'm not saying that people should be leaving. What I think is that our people should stay because when you stay, that builds up the coaches that are going to come to Mississippi instead of people just being like, you need to leave Mississippi so that we can go recruit you. Instead, it's like they come to Mississippi, make them come to Mississippi. So I agree with you, but all I'm saying is that the whole you don't get missed thing, I mean, listen, we've seen it. We've seen it. It took him 5 years to get around
Yeah,
to,
but
he's
that's
a
but that's a
national
unique
champion.
but that's a unique situation. But that's a unique situation. A kid that was a really good football player, right? He was playing all the sports, and maybe he didn't fully invest into basketball the way that some of these other kids do. I just I haven't seen the success stories really of the kid that moves in high school and ends up in the NBA. I don't like
Yeah,
maybe they can comment that below and say, oh, this kid moved and it all worked out, because it seems like the kids that are working out the most from Mississippi, Elijah Martin, Josh Hubbard, are the ones that stayed. But then we think
mm-hmm.
about the ones that moved. I mean, there was a kid at Terry that moved, back in the day, and
Devin
who
Reed.
knows where? I don't. Where's he? I mean, my
He's
point being, there was a kid. Yeah, go ahead.
he's at Nichols. I believe he's at
Okay,
Nichols now.
there was a
Yeah.
kid. There was a kid from Greenville High School that ended up going to Virginia to play at one of those big academies, and then I think he ended up at Mississippi Delta and didn't even work there. Like
Yeah.
I don't see the success. I don't see the success. Now the girls, it's a little bit different. Those girls, if you're dominant, you're dominant, and there's only a handful that are super dominant. But my point being, especially when it comes to the boys, is I'm just not seeing the success stories. I don't understand what the difference is. It seems like it's more successful if you just tough it out and you grind it out in the scene that you grew up in.
No, and I couldn't agree. Listen, I gotta say, I totally agree with you. All I'm saying is that the logic behind it. All I'm saying is the logic behind it is different. Josh Hubbard was able to catch the scene pretty well, where he was popular and he was a big time guy. But the thing is, that's why we love Josh Hubbard so much, man. He's a true Mississippi guy. He's a true Mississippi guy, and I had the pleasure of being able to interview him. He's a great guy. I actually played against him in high school, which was interestingly enough. But man, he's just and went to Mississippi State after that as well. And before that, he was going to go to Ole Miss. He's a committed Mississippian, and so we like people like that for sure. But what I'm saying is that we've had these issues, but guys like that staying help it come back.
I agree.